Let's go back now into the Jurassic Park SEC. The Gators, they just knocked out the biker gang from Utah last week. Everybody coordinated Anthony Richardson. That bandwagon is getting huge. What do? Invite Kentucky in tonight, and it did not go well. Trevor, what jumped out at you at the Kentucky Wildcats? And for those of you listening, this show, we do these hypotheticals all the time, and we talked about the depth and the physicality of the SEC. If you picked up Kentucky and you dropped them in the Pac-12, almost to a man, we all had them in the Pac-12 championship or right there on the edge. Same as if you dropped them into the ACC, they'd be right there with Clemson or anybody else. Here, they go into the swamp, Trevor. Can you just describe the mission that must take to go in there, no trickery, no five wide, roll them up and go toe-to-toe and beat a team that beat a biker gang?
Yeah, the swamp, as we talked about with Utah going in there last week, is a very difficult place to play in general, but especially at night. I had the chance to do an interview with Will Levis this offseason. I loved his demeanor. I loved what he talked about in terms of their preparation this offseason. But the theme of that conversation all led back to one person, and that was head coach Mark Stoops. What he has done there and the culture that he has built has allowed them to put themselves on the map as a football school. Obviously, Kentucky, known as a basketball school, but now they are going in and they are a true force to be reckoned with because of what Mark Stoops has done. Will told me that when they were going out and hiring different members of their staff, that he would bring members of that position group in. Will was an example of that, to be a part of the hiring process. I think that is empowering your players to get on board with the culture, get on board with everything that they're trying to do to get in the same lane and go for a common goal. And you saw that tonight. Did it go perfect for Kentucky? No, but they battled and battled and battled and proved that they can go up against anybody in this league, and they're going to do that and strap their cleats up and put their helmets on every week. So you better be ready to go.
Bryce, well, what's also about to be ready to go is this label of a basketball school at Kentucky solely. Kentucky, physical brand of football. They got a first-round quarterback. They got a head coach who Nebraska should already be sending ambassadors down there right now. They should already be on their way. Kentucky is real. They have a chance now to crack the top 12, possibly the top 10. What jumped out at you, and what do you see a lot from Will Levis? How big of a threat can they be kind of going up against these Titans that they have coming soon?
Yeah, no doubt. And they do. I mean, they got Ole Miss at Ole Miss. They got Tennessee at Tennessee, and then they play Georgia at home in November. So they're going to have a gauntlet to go through. But the thing I love about it, look, that offense runs through Will. It's very evident, and he's very comfortable in the offense. And I didn't realize this until they were talking about the Gamecast too. This is his third play call in 3 years. That's a lot. That's a lot on a quarterback.
Wow.
And when you have the ability to take hold and control of your offense through that many changes, that many transitions, it's tough. You see guys out west, like we were just talking about with Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams, who's been in that offense. They were talking about, they finish each other's sentences. That continuity is really important. And so for what Will has done over the last 3 years with 3 different play callers is really impressive. And then on top of that, to Trevor's point, you go into the swamp when you've got all this hype of is Florida the team to beat in the East right now, and you take them toe to toe. And Anthony Richardson struggled, pretty mightily tonight, which was hard to watch as a quarterback. And you've had those nights before. They're not fun when nothing's really working. But Will Levis really, really outplayed Anthony Richardson to say, hey, I am this guy and can stand toe to toe. And so. I think for what you said, and without a doubt, they're not just a basketball school. This is, Mark Stoops and Will Levis have this as a football school.
Hack, you played in a real brutal league and a brutal style of play at Penn State. No finesse, downhill running. It's going to be defense first, and then your big playmakers kind of take the cues off of those two, and you go do your thing. Levis is in that, and I go to you about that with Penn State because Levis came from Penn State. What have you seen from him in terms of growth, Yes, he was a youngster at Penn State, and he's kind of just battling and trying to develop. Portal opens up, he jumps. Smart. They cut their teeth last year together as a group. But Bryce said, third play caller in 3 years. Can he be a threat, one, to put these guys in the mix in the East? Can they even get in here and be a threat to Georgia? And two, can we start kind of talking about him as a Heisman possibility?
Yeah, I'll answer that one. I mean, he's got the opportunity, right? We always talk about Heisman moments and things of that nature, and the system, the way they've been doing it. Now, I think Will made a lot of great plays tonight, but I don't want to discredit Kentucky's physicality up front, and especially in the second half. I mean, they commanded the line of scrimmage and were able to pretty much run the football at will. And as we all know, when you have a great running game, it makes your job so much easier. Same way as like having a stud out there. Like if you can turn around and know you can hand the ball off for 3.5 yards, puts the defense in a real bind. And I think they did a great job of taking advantage of that off of play action, getting Will on the edge a little bit, and then in the pocket, and him being able to show off that arm and make some throws down the field that were big plays in this game. But yeah, I think when you're talking about Kentucky, they were really quiet. I think all preseason, they just top 25 ranked team, no one really knew what to say. And I was listening to ESPN actually this morning, going to pick up some groceries. And they were asking, I think it was Dan Orlovsky, who's the third best team in the SEC? And I think you can sit there and say, there's a pot of them, right? And before this game, it was Florida, Kentucky, Arkansas, A&M before today. So I think that they've really started to solidify themselves as a team that can get up in there and really make some noise. And I like their brand. I like you said, hinting at the Big Ten stuff. I love physical football teams, old school with a little bit of new school flavor, and you got a guy at quarterback who can do a little bit of it all. So I think they're doing a great job of putting him in positions to be successful. And he's going to have his shot at some Heisman moments here, like you said, like you hinted at, at Ole Miss, at Tennessee, and then Georgia, you know what I mean? And that's really where you make your bread, right? So we'll see what happens towards the end of the year. I think it's a little early to even start talking about the whole Heisman thing, but
sure.
Those moments will come. But very impressed with Kentucky, very impressed with Mark Stoops' job, and very intrigued to see how they handle the meat of this season, because that's really what separates the big dogs from the Tyrannosaurus Rex from the Velociraptors. To take it to your
Jurassic Park. Indeed.
Yeah.
So the thing I love most about this Kentucky story, it can happen anywhere. You could build something that can sustain, and that can it's just like a group of people with hard work and a culture right, and the sun hits it right, can be a power. It happened with Art Briles and Baylor. Baylor was in the wilderness for 60 years. Came together, put a stake in the ground, made a decision, and then they were a power. Wake Forest, I don't know if they're quite a power yet, but they're winning games. They're punching up. Coach Clausen, they're out there. We saw what Hartman did last year. He came over, he battled back from some medical stuff. He came back now. They're back again. People have to they have to clear their throat looking at Wake Forest on the schedule. And now you got to do the same with Kentucky. The Kentucky Wildcats, Orlovsky might not be too far off. Hack, they're running traps, leads, power. There is no trickery with them, no finesse with them, no double pass. Like, they're just punching straight combos, and they're going to be like a tough out all the way through. Now,
to me, they have an identity too, George. Like
100%.
that, like they have an identity,
and
you
it
have
travels.
to have an identity, correct? That carries wherever you go, and they have that. And that's, if you got that, man, you're in any game.
What's going on, guys? Rob Doster here, the founder of the Field of 68 and the Field of 12 Media Networks. I wanted to take a quick minute to let you guys know about an exciting new project that we have been working on for the last 3 months. The Almanac, an all-encompassing preview of the 2022-23 college basketball season. We spoke with every single Division I head coach to give you a robust and accurate preview for all 363 Division I college basketball teams. We have predictions for conference finishes for all 32 leagues. We have features on the best freshmen, the best big men, the breakout stars, the coaches on the hot seat, so much more. It is 600,000 words of sheer happiness for the college basketball fan in your life. The Almanac is going to be available for digital purchase on September 26th for just $19.99, but you can pre-order it today using the promo code HOOPS and save 20%. Just hit the link in the description below.